Hey, hello people. Right, so I'm trying out again the idea of doing a live with you, but switching to members only live at a certain point. Um, it hasn't worked before, even though I have the option through my YouTube channel because of all your support, because I've got so many followers, it allows me to do that. But for some reason, it also then gives me a button to do it when I'm going live, which makes no sense at all to me. So I'm just trying to see if it's giving on this setup because today I've decided to go through a different server. Well, what I'm gonna say is how I change my setups on my guitars when I'm not sure what the right capacitor to use. And the reason I'm doing that, some of you might remember in last week's or chat on my other channel, I streamed a guitar and I was a little bit disappointed is I've tested it out and I've discovered that what I needed to do was change both the capacitor of the tone and the type of pot. So it was a um, linear 250k pot. I've changed it to a logarithmic taper 500 pot. So 250 to 500 um, standard to audio. There you go. And then also the capacitor, I made a change. So it was on a 0.22 microfarad capacitor, which is what you standardly have on most humbuckers, and I changed it to a 0.47 microfarad, which is what you normally have on a single coil. Now, it doesn't look like I have any option here whatsoever to change the setting. So it looks like it's going to be all for everyone and not members only. Never mind. Hope you don't mind, members. I'll do something for you afterwards. What I was going to do was show the members the setup I've got over there, which is I'm restanding a guitar for someone. It's got a neck and a body of different woods, and they want them stained the same. So I've had to colour match the basic body so it matches the colour of the neck, so that when I put the stains on, it all goes well. So as soon as I finish this, I'm going to members only live stream and see if that works. Right. So what I'm going to do here is just turn this around and show you what I have. Apologies for keep it acoustic. There is my guitar set up on the table. It's one of my Proton casters, and it's coming through the cable over here on my desk. There's the cable with a special thing, which I'll show you in a minute, into my amp here. So let's get closer, and I'll make the camera stay. I don't have to do too much going in, too much dizziness, hopefully. I can see someone's in the chat. Hey, Russ, welcome. Listen, I'm just doing a quick test, so I'm going to switch my amp on. Oh, it was on. I'm going to strum my guitar, and it's coming through. But what's happening is this is the cable here from my guitar. This is the cable going to the amp. And essentially what I did, if I pull this amp here for a minute, is I simply took the normal instrument cable, cut it in half, then stripped the wires. And what I have for both ends here is the live, the so in the core of the instrument cable were two wires. And wrapped around it was bare wire, which was the shielding. I've put the shielding to the ground of the inner core, and the hot of the inner core is on its separate thing. And I've stuck on it just these little pins that go onto breadboards. Don't have to stick it on a breadboard, but I found that quite easy. And then did the same for both sides. I hope that makes sense. So basically cut the lead in half, and now I'm going to reattach it. So if I just match those ends up, let me strum something, and if I match the ends up, can I do it? Can I do it and strum? No. You can just hear the end of the signal coming through. But the breadboard allows me to collect them up. So I'm going to collect the two pots together, and then grounds together. Excuse the noise. There we go. So now I've just connected the wires back together. Fantastic. And the reason I've done that is I wanted to test out some different capacitors. So here, hold on. put them down. I can't remember which is which. I've got the wrong glasses on. I can't read. Brilliant. Right, so here we go. So if I put a capacitor in now, so basically what I'm doing with the capacitor is I'm taking it from the hot to the ground, so just sort of like running the capacitor across the two leads, which is what you do with your tone. And a strum, you can hear the sound difference when I take the capacitor out. So it's a very slight there. And if I put this one in, which is a different value capacitor, we hopefully can change. Really hard to do with the camera in the way. Apologies for this. That's why when I edit videos, I like lots of editing. Here we go. There we go. When I pull the capacitor out, not much difference. We've got the capacitors around the way. Hold on, let me just swap my glasses. Where did I put my? Oh, this is great live TV for everyone. Two. Oh, so this is the one that's a really low value capacitor. What's happening? Really different. When you go up to this, which is a 0.22 microfarad capacitor, which is the one that you might have with a normal humbucker, you should be able to hear the difference. Yeah, did you hear that as I pulled it in and out? So I don't know how well that shows up, but there you go. That's what I did. And I went through loads of different capacitors. I found one that had a tone difference I wanted, deep, thick tone, and then when I pull it out, then I need to put that into the circuit with a pot. I'm going to do for next week. Live stream. I'm going to set up so that I have that option to swap the capacitors, along with the option to swap the tone pots. Now I've also got this, which is a rotary switch, 12 positions on it, and I'm going to attach each of the capacitors I have that I like to use on here. But unfortunately, I'd run out of some of the capacitors. I didn't bother doing that today. I've ordered them in. I knew the capacitors that I've run out of aren't ones I'm going to really use on the guitar, but the ones I'll probably use on the bass. I want to put all 12 options on here. That will go in where I just put that capacitor in. That will go in on the breadboard there, and it will also go via a switching option for 4 different pots: a 250k and a 500k audio taper, logarithmic taper, and a 250k and a 500k standard taper. 4 different ones, and that makes sense. Anyway, the main reason I was doing this was that test to see if I could swap over to members. I cannot work out why. It's such a new function, which maybe is one of the issues. It's such a new function that I can't do any research into it. I've tried looking on YouTube for videos on how to do it, and no one's made videos about it yet. And I would make a video about how to do it if I knew how to do it. It doesn't work. So there you go. Anyway, thank you everyone. I'm now going to do a quick members live to show them what I'm standing over there, and I will see you all soon. Cheers. Right, and thanks, Russ.